up, everybody? Welcome back to Knockout Sessions. It's your 3 favorite musketeers right here. After a good weekend of fights, I know what y'all are thinking, especially the ones that tune in usually. Y'all are saying to me, thank you, Julio. I put my parlay in honor of you, and y'all want some money, because if y'all want to listen to these two, you didn't, but life is good. Life is so damn good.
To be fair, nobody actually knows where I stood or where he stood because Julio lagged and did not upload the preview of UFC 298.
No, we did. You know why? Because we're still going to upload it. You know why? To see how many takes of ours aged like fine wine and how many aged like milk. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, damn. So yeah, well, our apologies on the technical difficulties on that.
It's trying to be vindicated right now.
But these two are salty. Oh no.
Because there's nothing to be salty about.
And there's previous proof. What we're talking about here, we're going to jump right into it, into the UFC 298 main event. I'll actually, go ahead. One of you two, say the result. What was the main event result?
So we had Volkanovski win by unanimous decision, like I fucking called it.
Obviously.
On the preview.
There's no other way that could have gone.
100%.
Any variations of what we just said that you might see online, China propaganda,
100%.
fake news, it's the Matrix attacking.
Yep.
So before we lose followers from all this fake news, it was Ilia El Matador Topuria knocking out Alexander Volkanovski in the second round. We have a new champion, guys.
Congratulations to him. Volkanovski's era has been amazing.
Of course.
I still don't think it's over because I think if Ilia gives Volk the rematch, things will go differently. I think the fight will stop too soon. Kind of the same thing that happened with Izzy and Alex. And then the rematch happened, and then Izzy knocks out Alex. You know, everything stopped.
He went lit, and it was stopped too soon.
Hey, I didn't see him throwing the towel. He should have kept it running.
You know what, Ilia? Apparently, you didn't finish the job in the first one. Ilia, just kill him in the second one. Yeah, because that's apparently what we got to do around here. Ilia, week. So now Spain has their superstar. UFC has to go to Spain. Ilia. He called his shot. He nailed it. He's the champion.
Made a movie.
It worked out.
Hey, I don't
know y'all. I know y'all hate it.
No, we haven't even seen it.
But I know y'all hate the fact that he was going for it. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yes and no.
Yeah,
it was more like
I was skeptical.
Yeah, it was like. You know, my biggest thing, and I'm pretty sure I said it in the preview, which one day everybody will see, is that my biggest thing was as long as if Ilia he would have uploaded, even if he lost, I would have been respect. But if he was only going to upload it if he wins, yeah. But I guess we'll never know. Like Kanye West said.
Yeah.
What would have happened if I never won? I guess we'll never know.
Well, in any case, I think that the antics before the fight was kind of rubbing a couple of people the wrong way, especially the Twitter fingers lately. And I'm going to drop this right now because I know me and you both thought similarly about it. So we have to address this immediately. Topuria calling out Conor McGregor in his post-fight interview. Absolute garbage.
So what do you think about that?
Me?
Julian?
One, it doesn't happen.
That's not what I asked you. What do you think about it?
Of the fact that he did it?
Yeah, because if it was Volk, Conor,
actually,
I want to see you in your greatest. I want to see you.
I would say Volk versus McGregor is more believable of happening at 155. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you wouldn't have respected it. But you respect the fact. See, this is where I talk.
Do I respect it coming out of Ilia? No. If it was Volk, yes, because Volk is already a star.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think about Ilia?
Nah.
Whether you believe it's gonna happen or not is irrelevant. It's the fact where his energy's at. His energy is not. Let me take on.
It's on Red Penny Night. Huh? It's on Red Penny Night. What he's trying to do is trying to get his name out there, clickbait, whatever it is. He's trying to.
That's not clickbait. Because he was already talking about. I'm not giving all these dudes an opportunity.
Dana himself said that's not happening.
That's the only thing that saves the division is the fact that at the end of the day, it's not up to Ilia. It's fucking Dana who's going to decide this. I'm saying what's coming out of his mouth. You respect it.
I have said I respect it.
Basically, like
you're not saying you don't, and I'm asking.
I don't like it. I don't like that it happened because it's like, come on, let's be real. That's not what's going to happen next. What's happening next is probably going to be the winner of Yair Ortega, or depending on how he loses,
rematch.
Max, or
The rematch.
The rematch. However, should Volk get a rematch right away?
100%, bro.
And what I mean by that is the turnaround. The turnaround.
Oh,
I'm not saying he deserves it. I'm saying should he get right back in?
No, not after 2.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know if I agree with you there. I think he needs some time off.
Yeah, he needs to take I wouldn't mind seeing this towards the end of the year. Fourth quarter. So if Ilia wants to take in a fight in between, yes, take on the winner of Yair Ortega, and then give him Volk the rematch.
Which I think that ideally, instead of wasting the opportunity to call out Conor for no reason, he should have called out Yair, especially with the spicy back and forth that has been
But he already said he doesn't want to do that. Well, that's where my problem
here's the thing.
lies.
Let's pretend we're
kind of makes
matchmakers, right?
him lose credibility.
No, because
Yes.
he just knocked out your Lord and Savior.
And now he's trying to get red panty night that he hasn't earned.
So was Michael Chandler. Nobody's talking about him.
It hasn't even happened.
Poor Michael. Did y'all
waiting
see him
10
call
years.
out on WWE? Like
Yes.
the same speech he gave in the octagon.
Yeah.
I think he took off his shirt.
That man's jacked.
He is. He's short though.
From where?
So in a perfect world, let's say we're matchmakers and let's say we predict futures here, right? Yair is the favorite to beat Ortega. Yair wins. Would you do Spain, Ortega, or Yair and Ilia? Because that's gonna be a pain.
Yes, and even Yair already said he's down for that.
Yeah, because on a market level, that's gonna be a sellout.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're saying Ilia Volk in what, Vegas?
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden.
Wherever. I'm just saying Volk needs the time off. And the only thing that makes sense next for Ilia is Yair, assuming he wins.
And now it goes back to, well, that's what you're hoping for. The post press conference that Volk gave, he begged for that rematch.
Which of course he is. He's a reigning champ.
We're talking about realistically, should he do it?
No shot.
But
he doesn't believe in that.
Is he deserving of it? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I'm saying? So that's mainly what I think he might have been asking for more than anything. But
well, he said he's a company man. He's
the only thing that I can think of that would be on Volk's side is if Ilia is really adamant that he's not going to fight anybody else, and he just wastes the whole rest of the year and fights Volk at the end of the year.
Well, Ilia said, I'm willing to give him the rematch because he's a nice guy. But after that, he's got to move on.
Yeah, that's fine. Then we're going to have Alex Izzy 4 happen again. 5. Whichever one it was.
But different weight this time.
Yeah.
What?
Izzy knocked out Alex Pereira in the fucking final match between the two. And fucking Volk.
I mean, Pereira knocked out.
Izzy knocked out Alex at the last time they fought. So this was gonna happen again. Volk is gonna knock him out this time. The problem with Volk was that he was scared.
He was
scared. It was either PTSD from getting knocked out by Islam over freaking over respecting Ilia's power.
I don't think you're understanding the reality here. Volk is 35, 2 and 23 in
Volk
championship
was winning.
fights.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't deny that Volk was outclassed.
But Ilia found a way.
That's not what I'm arguing.
Ilia's only going to know his game plan even more going forward.
So is Volk.
Volk can absolutely try. He's the more experienced fighter. But the fact of the matter is, knocked out in 2 of the last 3 fights. He goes and gets knocked out again by Ilia. What's that going to do for Volk? If Volk gets knocked out by Ilia again, what's next for Volk?
Nothing. He can retire. No matter what, it doesn't affect his whole era.
See, let me tell you where your argument loses credibility, right? Pereira got knocked out by Izzy, went on to dominate the light heavyweights here. Like, of course he did, no problem. That man's 36.
Okay.
They're telling me Volk can't bounce back from his knockout loss.
155 pounds or fewer. 2 and 23 in title fights.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's not gonna. Volk's history is not on Volk's side.
Okay, well, that's why he's great. He makes history.
History's not on Pereira's side.
I will bet you in the rematch then.
Okay, we'll talk about that then.
Whoa.
This is the same man that thinks that Aspinall will lose to Pereira. I'm just throwing that out there. Nonsense. Hogwash.
I don't think it's a hot take.
Won't entertain me.
I don't think it's a hot take. Pereira or Aspinall, you're the tiebreaker.
People.
Nah, Aspinall.
You got Aspinall? Okay.
Thank you.
Again, y'all are literally watching me here live, time after time. making these guys look like fools.
I can't wait for Espinal to put your boy in the body.
Now,
anyways,
let's assume Volk moves up.
Okay.
Who should you fight?
Realistically, I would love to see Charles, but Charles is going to fight Islam next.
If he beats Arman Saryukin.
Or if he loses to Saryukin, Charles next.
Break your heart, because then one of them is going to be on a major losing
Fine.
streak.
I mean, Charles is in the same boat as Volk. He's what, 35, 34?
34.
So,
It'd be the perfect time to have that match with.
Yeah.
It's going to be a super fight regardless.
100%. It's good coming. It's not going to main event. You need a title.
Bro, you don't need a title if there's big names.
Chandler,
Charles and
Connor.
and Volk.
Exactly.
I don't know if Oliveira and Volk have enough story or like star power like that to headline, you know, like a Poirier McGregor or a McGregor Diaz did.
I think with the casuals, Volk is pretty up there.
You know what I've noticed that sucks? Maybe you guys will agree. First of all, the UFC cover curse is real.
For real.
Second of all, it sucks that the UFC cover or the UFC star power doesn't happen until this stage in your career, and by the time you're a star, you're already on the downhill.
Yeah.
Like, it's happened to everybody at this point.
Masvidal, Izzy, Volk, Connor.
Valentina
Well, Connor's kind of debatable. He kind of
has won.
he ruined his own career.
I mean, yeah, it just sucks.
But at the time he was on the cover, he was like in his prime. So
But, you know, hopefully, maybe we'll get a rematch. I most certainly hope there's a rematch because history's on my side, like always.
this guy gets one win.
Oh, I've got multiple.
He don't know how to act.
Multiple. There we go.
He don't know how to
Y'all
act.
should have seen I jumped up. But we go from one main event to the co-main. The fight of the night, in my opinion. Robert Whitteker versus Paulo Costa.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Whitteker did a lot better than what we had seen previously. I think that Whitteker, in a sense, was kind of like in limbo for a while. We didn't really know if he was going to decline, if maybe he could bounce back.
Was Costa really what he used to be, though?
I guess you could kind of argue that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that the reason why Whitteker looked good?
Is he what he used to be? Maybe mentally, no. But for sure, in terms of power, he's still that dangerous fight. I mean, you saw that.
The broken nose.
That kick out of nowhere. That spinning wheel kick was nasty. I mean, I thought Robert was done.
To give Robert some credit, I think most fighters would have gotten.
So now it makes you wonder, was Robert's chin not in the DDP fight? Or does DDP hit like a horse?
I mean, we've seen that DDP's power can be the X factor against someone way better at striking than him, like Sean. So I would say he's probably just got some nasty power.
You know what I'm saying? Like
If
that
that's
makes
the
you
case.
put some respect on that, because Robert has a chin. You don't go to war for 10 rounds with Yoel.
So you say that about DDP, but not Izzy, who knocked out Whitteker first.
No, I think Izzy's got power too.
Yeah, I've never said Izzy doesn't have power.
No, but you never respect Izzy either.
No, he runs a lot of his fights, and you can't deny that.
I don't.
Thank you.
But anywho, yeah, I think it was a good win for Whitteker. I think that kind of win maybe kind of keeps him in the conversation of like, oh, maybe could he face
Absolutely.
Sean Strickland? Can he maybe
That's a fight to
face,
make, isn't it?
I think so.
That's a fight to make. Huh? Who wins? Early predictions. Strickland.
Yeah, I'd say based off of recent activity, probably Strickland. But I think that if Bobby Knuckles gets the win, he can easily challenge for a title again.
I mean, yeah, obviously, at that point, if you beat Strickland, but
Yeah, but
I don't know. I think the momentum's still on Strickland's side because, again, he could have easily won the fight against DDP. Like, it wasn't like a shutout.
Well, he himself said that he wasn't himself going into that fight. He was
so it wasn't a shutout, but
he was basically. It was very similar to the Ilia Volk fight. You know,
in what way?
Volk was actually landing the more like he won round one, just
And
like
two.
It ended in round two.
he was winning it.
And the fight.
I mean, he was almost putting on the belt. Like, I believe Whitteker was beating DDP, and then DDP caught him in that second round.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of. It was actually DDP. What happened to to DDP and Whitteker almost happened in Costa Whitteker, because Costa at the end of that first round clipped him, and then just like how DDP clipped Robert Whitteker and busted him open. Mm-hmm. And then going into that second round, I was like, "Is this deja vu? Like, is Costa gonna go in there and finish him like DDP did?"
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't happen. Obviously, Whitteker, sure, he's still got that dog in him.
Young in there.
I think Sean Strickland is next for Whitteker. I think Whitteker beats Sean Strickland. High def though.
Ooh, that's a pretty spicy take.
It is. It is a spicy take, but that's because I feel like Whitteker's a more disciplined striker. Whereas like Strickland,
But Strickland has good defense. Though.
he has great defense. But can a Philly shell defend a blitz?
He does. Bobby Knuckles does have that awkward blitzing jab that just like sneaks up on you.
It's the jab, then the left, and then the high kick. So like you have the Philly shell, that high kick, is gonna come right there.
Leave you wide open to it.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's a very good strike. It's a striking clinic of a chess match.
So styles may fight. So who knows? We'll see.
But speaking of styles and speaking of fights and speaking of cuts, Ian Machado Gary defeated Jeff Neal.
What? Went straight into it.
I think in this specific fight,
We go from the most exciting fight to the most boring fight.
Because I mean, I feel that this really exposed Ian. Like he still's got a lot of improvement to do before he's really ready for
Shopcott.
Yeah.
Or Leon.
Yeah.
Anybody in the
I
top.
don't think anybody's ready for Shopcott.
I mean, to even compete though, he didn't look as good and dominant as he was when he was first coming up. Like now,
It doesn't look like a title contender.
yeah, not right now. Like he's gonna have to make a big switch or improve a lot out of nowhere. But I mean, where does this leave him now?
well, he's ranked number 6 now in the division.
So he's almost breaking the top 5.
And he called out Colby.
See, that's a good next fight, but even then, based on what we saw from Colby the last time, I mean, it goes back to the same thing as Paulo Costa. Like, does Colby really have it still to even
Well,
give Ian any?
Well, here's who's ahead of Manchado Gary. Anyways, you got Colby at 5, Gilbert at 4. He's booked. Got Shopcott at 3. He's like a hungry lion caged up right now. You got Bilal at 2.
Who?
Belal. Number 1, Kamaru, which I think they need to really kind of get rid of that name already on there. And Leon. I think Covington is the most realistic.
I think at this one, Covington and Burns.
Yeah, it would be. I think Burns would probably be a better test to see, kind of gauge where Ian's at.
Burns is known to give those shots to those young up and comers on.
There you go.
I mean, he's already fighting JDM though, so it depends on the quick turnaround.
It's kind of like the gatekeeper of the top 5 at this point.
And the only people behind Gary that makes sense is maybe Sean Brady or Wonder Boy.
Which Wonder Boy versus Gary, a little striking match, and then we already know Brady had a strong comeback, but it's got
Just get healthy, bro. Like, because he has such potential. And it's funny because Brady called out Gary on his Instagram, and he said that it's funny that he's always calling out Gary, but Gary never mentions Brady at all. That he's trying to go for a washed up wrestler instead of his peer.
Yeah,
and because I think Brady actually beats Covington.
That's what I just said. I don't think Covington has what it takes to.
But I think Covington beats Gary.
How so?
Wait, you just said that Gary
Beats Brady.
Oh, I thought you said Gary beats.
No,
Covington.
Brady beats Covington.
Oh, Brady beats Covington, but
But Covington beats Gary.
Covington. Okay, I see.
Go ahead. I'm gonna say this one more time.
So, the math ain't math.
So Brady beats Covington in my
Because you were saying you started with Sean and Ian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think wins between Sean and Ian?
Brady and Gary?
Yes. I was just saying the first thing. Now you want to repeat the last thing. And then from there you jumped at Sean Brady beats Covington, but I had already said that Ian beats Covington also.
I think Brady beats Gary.
Brady beats Gary.
He gets a hand on him.
So
and
Brady beats both Ian and Covington.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that makes me hesitant on Brady is we haven't seen a striking.
So you think Brady has good striking? He breaks into the top 5.
Oh, absolutely! If that man shows me he's got some hands, oh Lord, he's the next man up. I don't know if it's enough to beat Shavkat. I don't know. I don't think he beat Shavkat. Nobody beats Shavkat in my opinion. Nobody.
Not that weight class.
Maybe the closest is going to be Leon, and Shavkat's going to put that to the test eventually.
Yeah, that's to happen in that weight class.
But I think if Covington comes, if he's taking it seriously, if he comes back with a vengeance, right, and we got cardio chaos Covington, he's going to take Gary into the deep water.
Yeah, I think the fact that Ian couldn't even handle Neal's striking and just like the pressure, and he didn't really do much once he got backed up into the cage. Just mostly just kind of.
And in my opinion,
the octagon.
It was 1-1 going into the third round. Jeff Neal let that third round go.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why Ian took that fight was because Neal just said, "I'm tired," or "I'm not about it," or
he got frustrated with the game.
or he thought he was winning the first 2, so took a round off. But yeah, no.
I don't know what it was.
I mean, he did think he won at the end. He raised his hand and everything.
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah, I think for Jeff Neal at this point, what's next for him is probably going to be the winner of Kevin Holland and MVP.
Fair enough.
Neal and Holland would be nasty.
That would be a war between those two.
Honestly, Neal and MVP too. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen next probably. And then the other fight of note that we want to talk about is Morab Vs defeating Henry Cejudo.
put him to sleep, carried on his lap.
He sunned him on.
That was a lot more of a shutout than I expected.
You really saw Henry's age in this fight.
Yeah, I think that just kind of went to show to Henry Cejudo that if he really wanted to keep contending, he should have stayed active.
Yeah, because he still had a little pop. You know, he kind of rocked.
That first round was pretty good. I think I actually gave first round to Cejudo.
Yeah, 100%.
And then he just gassed out.
Yeah.
And then Morab was like, he is exactly what they call him, the machine.
Yeah, non-stop action for him. He manhandled Cejudo. He smacked him around. Like he did it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't close after that first round.
So, I mean, I know Dana was like, if he wants to retire, go ahead and retire. But I mean, what's left for Cejudo at this point?
I think best case scenario, he moves up and tries to make a fight with Volk or something. But that's not gonna happen. He's not gonna challenge for a belt.
You know what's a missed opportunity?
O'Malley and Cejudo.
Well, that too. But in terms of where they're at right now, Peter Yan and Henry Cejudo. But Peter Yan's fighting Song Dong, so. I would say David Figueiredo, but nobody.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, boy, you tried twice already.
Yeah.
Like,
there is one more name. It depends if he accepts it or not. But I can see Dana trying to do this, and before he knows Cejudo calls it a career. Cejudo, Umar Nurmagomedov.
You think he's trying to propel Umar?
Yeah, but I believe Umar has a. Let me see, confirm if he has a fight. I think he's fighting Sandhagen. If he's fighting Sandhagen, because that was booked, and then I had to get. Oh, he's not. He's fighting some unranked fighter, Beksa Almakan, on March 2nd.
I swear, that's the most Mexican-looking Russian I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it looks like Pitbull and Khabib had a baby.
Yeah, it's got more of like the soul patch going on than like a standard dude.
I could see maybe Dana being like, because Dana doesn't care if Cejudo retires or not. He wants her to stay, okay, cool. But Dana's the kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna milk you, and especially when I have a Nurmagomedov on my wings. You're fighting Nurmagomedov.
Book it. I know that last name with Cejudo's last name.
Yeah,
all the casuals are gonna be like Khabib versus Cejudo.
My God.
No way.
that's funny.
But
as an honorable mention, if you haven't seen the highlights, again, Dern.
Sheesh.
Just saying, we had to do an honorable mention out there.
All I'm gonna say is cheeks. With a capital C. Just cheeks.
But overall, I mean, I think 298 was good. It wasn't as great as I thought, for obvious reasons.
Petty.
No. What are you talking about, Petty?
Why wasn't it great?
I don't know, like I didn't think it was as competitive of an event as you would have thought.
I think that's one of the best events in recent memory.
Until 299 comes around, right?
It could be. I don't know.
I don't know because I think what was the most competitive fight?
The
Whitteker Costa.
Okay, so that's 1 out of like 20.
Yeah, because Cejudo versus Morab was a complete shutout.
Ian and Neal were boring.
And then obviously the main event
again wasn't competitive.
Yeah, Volk got knocked out in the second round. So
I would say though the amount of high level fighters that we had in this card though makes up for that. Like we really got answers to a lot of people's careers.
yeah, I mean, I guess we could see like where everybody's going moving forward.
I think this is one of those cards where we're gonna look back and be like, it was that card right there where so and so did this and this happened to that person and now they're here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And cheeks.
And cheeks.
I'm just saying, watch the highlights.
And we go from 298. We're waiting for 299, but we finally have an answer, guys.
And it's super exciting. It's something nobody saw coming or expected. No one ever thought this fight was ever going to happen.
We have
Not in a million years.
the announced main event for UFC 300 of Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight title. Jamal Hill's never lost it. He had to vacate it due to injury. Pereira's a defending champ, beat Yuri Prochazka, who's also a lineal champion who never lost the title. So I guess Pereira's his light heavyweight tour continues here.
I already have the tagline for the main event. The championship war that nobody asked for. And most people don't care about it.
At least not for UFC 300.
No.
And
that's all we were.
Let's make something very clear.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Pereira's fault that we're mad at this.
Of course, no one's gonna try to blame Alex because relax, relax. No one's pointing fingers.
No, what I'm saying, can I speak?
No, but it's gonna you act like if I'm attacking you.
It would have been better if Pereira Aspinall, right? That's an example.
Absolutely.
Pereira Adesanya 3 as an example. Maybe it kind of would have been the same thing, but still.
I'd rather watch it.
The only reason that like Pereira and Jamal Hill is even any appealing is because again, like I said, it's a light heavyweight tour, lineal champ versus reigning champ, and it's like, okay, well, Pereira beats Jamal Hill and Yuri. There's undisputed, talks of who the man is. What makes this a little more interesting is that Pereira came out and said, I want to get the job done at UFC 300 and get a quick turnaround, and I want to main event 301 in Brazil, which I'm assuming is probably going to be against also Magomed Ankalaev, another light heavyweight who people talk about. So in a 6-month span, you tell me you beat Yuri Prochazka, Magomed Ankalaev, and Jamal Hill after beating Jan Blachowicz, you kind of cleared out a good amount of contenders in a year.
And that's fine, but that's very specific to Alex's career and not the event itself. When Dana's over here talking about, I'm going to show you guys something that's going to blow you away. I'm going to show you something you guys have not seen. I'm going to give you something that's amazing. Everyone talking about fucking 300 being the start of a whole new era. That is where the problem is. Yes, what Alex is thinking of doing is amazing. No one's going to argue that. And if he achieves that, boom, fucking goats of goats. Up there. Obviously not saying the greatest of all time. What I'm saying is that's going to start putting Alex in that conversation of, you're really that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep proving yourself and keep shutting Abi up every single time you fucking deny, you go against him or something.
Valid. I'm not going to
The issue...
You went for Pereira against Yuri, didn't you?
I did. I thought he was going to win.
Yeah, that's cute.
You went for Yuri.
I did. I was for Alex.
Oh, you went for Yuri. Anyways.
Regardless, what I'm talking about is, that's great for Alex, but what the fuck is
It's
wrong?
also good for Jamal Hill.
That's also for Jamal Hill. We're talking about UFC 300.
So you're mad
People
at
want like a
I get it.
Yeah, like you wanted something crazy that you wouldn't get otherwise. No, I know. That's why, and Alex Aspinall would have been amazing. Again, going back to the same shit.
That would have been like left field. Nobody saw it.
But that entire division's a mess right now because of the John Jones situation.
He was the John Jones fucking comeback fight where he said,
offered him. He
give me,
declined.
you know what I'm saying? I understand, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, there was nothing left on the table. Like, is it UFC 300 main event worthy? No. We were kind of expecting bigger and better, right?
The fact that it was competing with Bilal Muhammad and Leon Edwards,
We'll get to all of that later in a bit. Like, I mean, when you look at the entire card, though, I mean, let's go from top to bottom.
Yes, it's not a bad card.
It's going to be carried by Gaethje, Holloway,
the
and
same
Charles.
way that UFC 298 was carried by Whitteker and Costa.
Yeah.
After everything got fucking settled in.
Oh, okay, after everything.
Yeah,
So, okay,
everything
but
was
going
settled
into it, though,
Yeah, obviously it was Alex Ilia, but like, you know,
for all we know, maybe Pereira Hill is a better fight than what Gaethje Holloway ends up being. Like,
Potentially.
you know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be carried by Gaethje and Oliveira.
There's a silver lining here. It's that Jamal Hill's been talking a lot of shit on Twitter.
Don't say it.
And super crybaby. So.
Stop it.
So, you know, maybe some scores will be settled here. This man needs to not.
All I know is that when the right people get their comeuppance, it's fun to watch. You always like you always like a good justice being served. You know,
Ranky there.
I know I was trying to sound like a Republican, but no, I think Jamal Hill has been talking spicy.
It's a great fight. It's a great fight.
And honestly, I think
fight
they're
ever.
probably going to go in the route of promoting like Jamal Hill beat Glover for the PL.
Yeah. The Pereira Sensei.
Yeah, I mean, there's like viral picture. Remember when Hill won and Pereira was like dogging him, like sizing him up, and he was still bigger than him.
Taking out his sensei.
But I mean, overall, UFC 300 it's a good card. I'm still gonna watch. Bobby Green, Jim Miller, Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. You got Holly Holm and Kayla Harrison. That's gonna be fun. Figueiredo, Garbrandt. Bo Nickel in his ascension. You got, Yuri, Oliveira, Tsaryukian, which
that might carry you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think out of all the fights, that might be the most action.
that one probably has the most implications going forward.
Yeah.
And then Gaethje Holloway, also a lot of implications. It's funny. You know what's funny to me? Charles having to pull out of the Islam fight created such a chain of events. Because then Volk went in, got knocked out, and then accepted the fight with Ilia. Now Charles is fighting Tsaryukian, and then Volk is over here. Like, what a chain of events that happened after that.
That's what started the worst time.
Yeah, perfect.
If y'all watch Marvel, we are not in the sacred time. We are in the deviation.
Like, had Charles went ahead and fought Islam, win, lose, or draw, whatever, probably Volk would have just went straight on to Topuria.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy to do that.
And now you have an issue where, like, if and when Holloway fights Topuria, it's probably going to be like the remains of Holloway, depending on how this Gaethje fight goes.
Yeah. That's
It's gonna be the same conversation of if Volk never got knocked out, was he gonna be a better person? If Max didn't get knocked out by Gaethje, would he have been a better, person?
better fight.
Or gotten all those fucking beatings?
No, if Max looks good, then we have a real fight to build on.
That's true. If Max
At least looks good.
You never know. Max is a top tier striker. He could
Bro,
pull off the upset.
I love Max, but I'm betting the mortgage on Gaethje.
There's a reason why I didn't give it to me first.
Gaethje is known to destroy the careers of men with wings on their backs.
Moment of silence.
But speaking of 300, speaking of Leon, did you guys see that Dana gave props to Leon, that he accepted 3 fights, and then later on it was reported by Ariel Helwani that the three fucking fighters were?
I think you mentioned that earlier, but remind me.
He said yes to Hamza Chimaev.
Yeah.
He said yes to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And he said
Of
yes
course, to fucking Bilal Muhammad.
No, it wasn't Bilal. Bilal wasn't even mentioned in the 3 fights.
Hell yeah.
And the joke continues.
I know Bilal somewhere in England just like...
Where the hell? How were 3 people heavy? And the third person isn't even in the division. It was Islam Makhachev.
Let's go.
Leon said yes to all of
that
them.
would have been a badass 300.
That's a super fight.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
Yeah, but Islam said no.
Of course.
Ramadan.
Princess.
Hamza said no because of Ramadan, but we'll get to more of that in a bit. And Shavkat, I believe, said no because he's still nursing that injury that he had to the ankle. And on top of that, dude's playing smart. Or maybe Shavkat. I don't know, Shavkat.
Nah, that ankle was nasty.
It was.
Yeah.
He still looked good, so I want to see a healthy Shavkat.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Bilal, you're being trolled at this point, my boy.
The meme.
Like, you are the definition of the girl that nobody wants to take to prom.
I'll give Leon credit. He was ready to go through death row for that UFC 300.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most scary one was probably going to be
Shavkat.
Yeah.
But the sexiest one was going to be Islam.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
For the super fight appeal, absolutely.
But Islam doesn't want to fight. He said no to, well, he didn't want the Charles fight to begin with. He was kind of forced into that fight. God himself saved him. Then he said, I think he said he wants Gaethje. But he said that when Gaethje's over here booked up already. Then he says no to Charles and Armin, that they have to fight each other to get a shot at him. Then he says no to Leon, that he'll fight him on his terms, obviously, because of Ramadan. And, like, you know...
I know, we kind of discussed this before already, like...
Yeah, he went full diva mode.
Yeah. So I really don't know. That's why we're not... Beyond this, we're not discussing it.
On this channel, we don't speak of this one.
You know, a lot how we need a savior in the lightweight division. You know?
I know where you're going.
Like, I respect Islam's skill and all that. We need Artem Lobov back, baby.
That's a plot twist. That's not the name of Mr. T-Rex Farms himself.
If you know, you know.
That's a classic meme right there.
You see, you're out of your element right now.
Artem Look him up later.
he was part of an important storyline once upon a time.
Oh, how ironic too. Islam, you know.
You know what I'm saying? That's you know.
You guys want me to get the fuck out of here? I'm sorry that you guys are having a fucking moment now.
You interrupt us again like that, jabroni, and we're gonna have problems.
Oh my god.
Jabroni for what?
So props to Leon. Now all that's UFC stuff over. We'll be back on another episode to talk about UFC Mexico. So stay tuned for that.
Mexico. Mexico.
For the
We move over. Speaking of Mexico, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. Give the update. Give the weekly update.
So what? On the preview, we were waiting for the announcement of Canelo's big news. Turns out it did. His big news was the fact that he was just going to extend his contract with
That's not big news.
TV Azteca to make.
That doesn't affect me. I'm American. What am I supposed to do? Like stream both
We
of
love
them?
our Mexican fans.
That's the reason why he was on TV Azteca making the announcement. Freaking Univision.
Like great for them, great for all my relatives down there in Mexico. I love y'all,
But I mean, within that time frame, we got a couple hints where essentially what he said was that he already knew who his next fighter was going to be,
it's an American.
and he said it was going to be an American, right? But this is the plot twist. Julio over here started hyping up the idea that it was going to be Canelo versus Jermall Charlo, right?
Hyping it up or like?
I mean,
destroying
you
it?
were like fucking so happy and excited when
That's his ideal fight.
when news exactly broke out. But apparently Jermall Hill is over here shutting down the rumor, saying that he hasn't been offered anything to fight Canelo.
Did you say Jamal Hill?
Jermall. Or maybe I did say Jermall.
I don't know. I had to do a double take for a second. I was like, who?
You mean Jamal Charlo?
That was a good one.
Jamal Hill.
wrong one.
But fight.
I know the casual fans out there were like, hold up.
What was I saying? But then we were like, okay, so if it's not the Charlo brother, then it has to be Crawford. Crawford fucking and Canelo both shut those rumors down.
Yeah.
So who's the only other American left? David Benavidez.
Yes.
Everyone's saying that Canelo wouldn't do Benavidez first. Look at us now. Julio gave his fucking fam card away already.
Too quick.
Yeah.
Too quick.
And even now, he still thinks it's Jamal.
Even though Jamal, he literally came out and said like, "Oh, I never got in any negotiation. No contract ever got sent to me."
Ilia Vs.
Not my words; those are Charlo's words.
So, plot twist here is going to be Berlanga.
I'm saying super plot twist.
But at this point, based on where we're at, I'm 70% sure it's going to be David Benavidez.
Yeah.
With a 40% sure there'll be a rematch for his last fight. What we've been asking for.
For the boy, you mean?
No, with David, because he technically still has 2 fights left with PBC.
Okay.
So if he fights David now in May,
so guaranteed rematch.
40% sure it will be a rematch. But Julio over there apparently is not interested because it doesn't seem to be true.
Oh, we're done bullshitting?
So what's the real news?
It's gonna be Jamal Charlo. I'm sorry, Jamal Hill. It's gonna be Jamal Charlo.
On what basis?
Well, first of all, he said that he posted on his Instagram the leak,
Who posted?
Jamal Charlo.
Okay, and then why would he make that video talking about that he hasn't been made any offer?
He's probably so depressed already that he
was drunk on a boat.
Even worse, he's probably so drunk and depressed that he said, I'm just going to shut the rumors down because I don't want to talk to people and I don't want to hear about it no more, because if not, my achy breaky heart is going to take too much of this. So, come on. It's smoke and mirrors. David Benavidez himself came out in an interview a couple days ago and said, I truly believe that the fight's going to happen in September.
I don't know. I feel like this is one of those surprise.
Yeah. No, you're hoping it's one of those surprises because if it's...
I'm the one that kept saying, I think the David fight's not happening until September. Give me whoever you want for May.
Yeah, which at
you are literally the only one in the room here that is disappointed that David is not next. Me, if David's next, it just proves that I'm right about Canelo. Right? But I was expecting it in September.
If David's next, then Canelo only solidifies that he's the baddest motherfucker in the game.
That's why I'm right and you're wrong, because you already gave up your fan card. You have no right to praise him anymore.
First of all,
which I kind of brings me back to I never understood what difference did it make if Benavidez lost in May or in September.
Yeah, so because the only one that keeps risking this more is Canelo.
And that's why he needs to handle business in May.
Why?
No, because you have no faith in his skills.
In Canelo's?
Yeah.
I do. I just don't have faith in age.
He's 33.
David's hitting his prime.
Canelo's still in his prime.
Mayweather was out of his prime at 36.
No, he was way past his prime at 36, though. It's just that he adapted quickly.
So what? Why is Canelo not... Why is he the exception?
I don't think you guys are really understanding how good Benavidez is, huh?
No one's arguing that.
That's not.
You're not understanding how great Canelo is.
I know how great Canelo is. I've seen the whole rise. I know Canelo's great. I'm a fan of Canelo, whether you guys say it or not. Just because I'm keeping a realistic head that the Benavidez is the most dangerous fighter that
he is. I'm not denying that. I just think that
from maybe Morab.
David Benavidez's flaws is where Canelo can literally take advantage of that will make Canelo win.
Then what? So let me ask you.
Because look, it's not like David Benavidez is like this monster that Canelo has never faced.
No, I know. The Triple G is the biggest one.
And Bivol, and Kovalev, and Colin Smith. All these guys are just as big, if not bigger, than what David Benavidez is.
Isn't Canelo's resume, or his skills, or even his age.
What did you just say?
I'm saying my biggest. That's not my biggest. The age is my biggest.
What can be bigger than that?
Why prolong it? Why say, until September? No, bro. Make it happen in May. What's wrong?
I mean, I'm sure a few months of difference isn't gonna make Canelo a fossil. Let's be realistic.
Let's throw age aside. Why can't the fight happen in May?
I don't know. I wish I had that answer.
You know what I'm saying?
To build up the fight.
Yeah.
No, it's been heating up for 2 years now. Let's be real.
Nah, David Benavidez didn't earn his shot until just last year. Before then,
it was just a name, but everybody kept shutting him down because, hey, bro, you were the dumbass who fucking couldn't make weight.
It hit its boiling point after Plant.
I would say after Boo Boo.
Nah, it was after Plant for sure.
Yeah, I think Boo Boo just kind of made the official fucking noise.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I always thought why not finish the contract with the biggest fight? The only issue that I have with him finishing the contract with David is that if it's a close fight and they give it to Canelo, the fucking shit talking don't stop.
Yeah.
The only reason why, to me, it makes sense for him to fight him first in May is that way it gives us the opportunity for a rematch if the fight is close.
It is so weird the way we argue and still end up agreeing. You know what I'm saying?
You never said that.
What? That it should happen in May?
I gave a reason why. You don't. You're just yelling.
Because it's time. That's not, your reasoning is that because of the rematch. My reasoning is that it's time. Like, do it. Like, there's no marinating it. There's no, you need
the
to. The
biggest reason above all is there's really no one left.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
if you no.
There is a rising puncher in that division.
Yeah, but I mean, he just fought.
Yeah, that wasn't the name we were thinking of.
Talking about Morel.
I mean, that one too.
But I mean, it's kind of down to the same
but I mean, Morel's in like 2 years ago. David Benavidez. Like,
the thing with Morel is that he's going to be more of a household name, light heavyweight.
Yeah, like right now, the names that make sense is Munguia and David Benavidez. That's it.
Yeah, Morel's more of like a fight that's gonna marinate down the line for Benavidez.
Like right now,
that's gonna be his triple G.
Like right now, Morel is the one that should be eyeing Munguia. He should be eyeing Berlanga. He should be eyeing Jamal, Plant, Boo Boo.
Yeah,
those are the names that
all those names should be eyeing each other, including Charlo.
I just said Charlo.
What Charlo? Like, I swear to God, if it's official that it's Canelo Charlo, bro, I'm telling you, like,
you already gave up your fan card. It's okay.
We're here to
listen to you. You can be. We're your therapy session. Look at him. Look at him.
I don't think it's because I know y'all like hate me because I'm keeping it
no one hates you. Cool. If we hated you, you would not be here.
First of all, fuck you. Right? I'm part of the Mount Rushmore that built this boat. Second of all,
that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I see.
made it personal.
Yeah, for real.
Second of all, I don't think you guys understand though, like the frustration that one gets. Like, okay, you guys are Volk fans, right?
I don't understand frustration. My God, I get laid once a month. I understand frustration.
Oh my God.
Okay, but we don't understand the frustration of what, Julio? Explain.
Okay, so you guys are Volk fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Volk would have marinated his fight with Ilia for another 2 more years from right now, how would this feel better?
Because he's legitimately old.
Yeah, at that point he'd be 37, going for 38.
It's not the same because even if Canelo marinates the fight for another 2 years, he's barely at Volk's age.
Yeah, 35.
But in those 2 years, maybe he fights Munguia, he fights Berlanga, he fights fucking Charlo. That's 3 legitimate fights that you can potentially make in the next 3 years, and it just makes Canelo a bigger star. Except the fact that he'll have David Benavidez as a boogeyman in his fucking career.
If you're Canelo, wouldn't you just want to silence the haters already and fight him in May?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like Canelo's new to that either.
Yeah,
like there's always a guy.
He's not, but the notion is that people are saying Canelo's scared of Benavidez. I personally don't think. I know Canelo's scared of
because again, he took on a bigger challenge when he fought Bivol at a bigger weight class who had fucking.
These waters aren't new to Canelo.
Yeah, so like the hate that Julio gives is irrelevant because at the end of the day, he's taking on the fucking tough fights, right? So your hate is irrelevant.
I'm not a villain here, motherfucker. Like,
I mean,
are you guys not used to Canelo putting on the best fights?
That's why
we have
so why? September. Why? See, that's the problem.
This is the problem with you is that you're making it seem like it's official that he is fighting Charlo, and we don't even know that right now.
I don't think you got Here's the problem. Let me tell you something.
This man has seen the future. Apparently,
I proved it. All right,
stop it.
I'm going to come back to this video and I'm going to repost it in some sort of capacity on social media because I want to say maybe by the end of this week we're going to get an announcement, right? He said it.
For last week, and we're already going towards the end of this.
No, please, at this point, this is worse than like UFC 300.
Yeah.
You know, there's some hate is going to be warranted if he fights Charlo.
Not for me, because I wasn't expecting David next. That's my point.
No, okay.
I was expecting Munguia or Charlo.
Why would you rather see Munguia or Charlo?
Munguia.
Yeah.
So why would he get that fight at least?
Because January just happened and Munguia just fought, so maybe the turnaround time for the contract was too soon. Maybe. I don't know.
He did have a little back and forth with Ryder.
Canelo fought in January and then May.
When?
When he fought Yildirim.
Okay, that's Canelo.
When he was younger.
Okay, so talk to Oscar, man. Like, this is on Munguia.
So what I'm saying is, how are we gonna give?
But then it would have been the same thing though, because when fucking Canelo fought Colin Smith, it was the same argument that Colin didn't get enough time to prep, blah blah blah. Like, if Canelo's not fighting with enough time on the top fighters that he's supposed to fight, he's gonna get shit no matter
that's
what.
the problem, is that apparently Canelo has to give every single possible advantage to these fighters,
except to himself, because he can fight 4 times in 1 year, no one has a problem, right? But the fucking people that he's fighting can't fight in fucking 3-4 month notice, because then that's the fucking problem.
You know, I want that same energy with you teen sexuals.
Yeah, the ankle monitor came off.
Shit.
All right, you take sexuals, better watch out with that.
Doesn't he have a different name then?
Abdul Wahid.
Wahid. The Wahid sexuals?
Well, take it still his nickname.
Yeah.
Fair. That's true.
The man formerly known as Gervonta Davis is now Abdul Wahid.
But look, at this point, we'll leave your frustration mentally, emotionally, physically for Friday. Because there's no point of arguing on a what if. If you're right, then I'll listen to you. I'll listen to your therapy. You can tell me whatever you want. I'm not going to argue with you because I'm saying it here. I'm not expecting Benavidez next, but Benavidez is next. I was just right. Canelo is great.
I know Canelo's great. It's the fact that he's great.
Even if he fights him in September, he's still great because he still believes postponing a big fight.
It's still gonna get the win.
It's to his advantage.
Because I know Canelo's great that I'm looking at this like Charlo fight and I'm going, why? What has Charlo done?
It's the fact that 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Did you just say stay active?
Yeah.
Jamar Charlo's been active?
No, Canelo.
No. I'm saying for Jamar Charlo to earn a fight with Canelo. You know
no, he didn't earn it, but I'm saying it's Canelo staying active.
No, but it's the fact that everyone was asking for these fights before. Now that he's giving them, it's not on your turn. So everyone's mad, right? It's always the fucking problem with Canelo.
I think he disposed of the better Charlo. He doesn't have to fight the Charlos anymore.
Okay, but nobody thought that before. They think that now.
Yeah, I'm like,
but before Jamal was out of commission for fucking 3 years and he started looking bad and started going with his mental issues, no one thought that little Charlo was better. Big Charlo was undefeated. Big Charlo was always the one who looked stronger.
His only good fight was probably Devyachenko like 4 years ago.
And yet he looked...
He was the one that was getting hype.
Yeah, like he was never the small one.
Yeah, he was the one that was getting a lot of hype.
Oh, hype, yeah. I know he was getting more hype.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that he hasn't, the last 4 years, he's done nothing.
100%. That's why now it's not beneficial to you non-Canelo sexuals because it's not at your turns now. It's at his turn. That's been the problem. That now it's like, oh, you waited for him to be fucking at his weakest. Well, what about Little Charlo? Little Charlo just became undisputed and he took him on at his best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me Little Charlo's that little. Like, motherfucker's still big.
They're the same exact body.
That's what I'm saying.
What he did to Jermel, he's going to do to Jamal.
Yeah.
I'd probably even knock him out because Jamal's soft. No me quiera.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
I believe
on our UFC Mexico preview is when we're gonna have Canelo news because of Mexico.
What a Mexican-filled episode for a non-Mexican holiday.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I believe also it might be on the same card too. Potentially, the IBF has ordered Ron Boots Ennis versus is it Cody
Crowley.
No, his first name.
I don't know.
Cody Crowley.
Cody Crowley.
Wow, that's bad. Yeah, it's Cody Crowley.
Okay.
I hate you.
I mean, I said it. Cody Crowley.
It's a tongue twister. To fight for the IBF. Is this confirmation that Crawford's moving on?
Oh, 100%, bro. We were never going to get Boots Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford, ever since he beat Spence, showed no interest in fighting Boots whatsoever.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, we'll be lucky to get fucking Crawford versus, I don't know,
Virgil.
But I mean, that's at 154.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way we're gonna get a big name for Crawford that's not either Spence rematch at 154, Charlo 154, Tim Tszyu at 154. Like,
hey, you make
Thurman,
Boots, Crowley, the co-mains, the Canelo, Charlo. What a big audience for Boots.
That's true. It's very true.
yeah.
Perfect time to call somebody out.
I mean, who's Boots' biggest competition at 147? That man's a wolf amongst dogs.
Yeah, maybe Teofimo if he moves up.
We all know Julio's favorite fighter.
Yep.
Good old Teofimo. He almost loves Teofimo as much as he loves Charlo.
He gets stressed every time.
Speaking of lower weight classes in Teofimo, Josh Taylor
Getting choked out by Jack Catterall.
rematch.
Getting choked out.
He did. Jack Catterall choked him into the
Yeah, they got into it.
face off.
I missed that part.
They got into it. It was pretty heated.
Learned something new.
It's a rematch from their fight that Taylor, I believe,
Lost.
I mean, yeah, let's call it what it is. I think he it would have been a draw at the most, honestly.
Yeah.
We get a rematch. I think this is one of those fights where it's like, in our primes, we had a great fight. Now we're both kind of like coming off tougher times. This is a loser leaves contention fight.
Yeah. Especially for Josh Taylor, because technically he was coming off the Catterall win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then he loses to Teofimo. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, that should be all
Could
right.
be
Interesting
potentially,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. There's really no big boxing call going on until we have that announcement.
Yeah.
Or, Haney or Ryan. When's that supposed to be?
April 20th.
April 20th.
It's a slow time right now, you know, for boxing. We'll have more on boxing in the next video. We have a special name that's fighting this weekend. We won't name him yet because he's a bit of a jackass. I love it. But anywho, if you like the video and you like the fact that I helped most of y'all win some bets, hopefully,
Cute.
over the weekend, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share everywhere. Social media as well. We have the social media handles on the description. Look, y'all, keep getting on this wave. I'm taking y'all to the promised land. You keep betting on. We'll put in bets. I wish there was like a bet where like, who is Canelo fighting next, and then you put in like Charlo, and it's like a plus 250, and then like.
Yeah, so he can tell you to bet the house and then lose all your money.
No. Not on the fight itself. I'm saying like.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Because if that were the case, he would literally announce David Benavidez just because you bet it against him.
That's just so our fans can turn on us.
Yeah. These guys have a lot of salt on that meat right now. Coming off of that loss. But I stay calm, cool, collected. Come back to these videos. That's why I'm telling y'all to keep like, share, and subscribe. Because of things like this. And y'all get to see debates like this. You know? Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're wrong.
He's always wrong.
But the bottom line is, if you go left where nothing was right at all, or you go right where there's nothing left.
You decide. Stay tuned, ladies.
Dun, dun, dun.